Well, I've been thinking about this TNT Tuesday ever since last Tuesday. When I came in over here, and last Tuesday, if you saw, Bob went over this LJ quite a bit. And I know there were a lot of guys asking questions. It was a pretty good TNT Tuesday. But something's been bugging me ever since that TNT Tuesday. For many years, I have said to people, if you're going to build your Jeep, whatever you do, pick the one company and buy all your stuff from that same company so that everything matches and you save lots of money and you don't have lots of headache. Well, guess what? My advice was wrong. It was wrong. I'm blown away because I know that when we make our things, they're all designed to work together. So I guess from now on, I'm going to tell you, just don't even buy anybody else's stuff, just buy our stuff. But here's what I want to point out, and this is what's had me thinking about this all week. Okay, this customer of ours has spent a ton of money on parts, and he got these really nice front fenders. I mean, they're really nice. These welds on these fenders look really great. They're a well-known company that makes these fenders, and I don't think there was any issue mounting these fenders. No issue mounting these fenders. Okay.
Little creative trimming here
But,
and there.
right. And we got these corners, which he was supposed to be a stretched corner for an oversized tire. Am I correct, Bob?
Well, not oversized.
But,
they
okay.
have factory wheel well.
Right. They did. They only had a little bitty hole, like you had maybe a 35 would fit in there. So they had to cut this and make that work. But okay, so same company. So you would think these corners and those fenders would work great with that company. Okay, so sorry about that. This is how we design our things. This with this with this, and all bada boom bada bing, and it all goes together. Unfortunately, as Tammy can, my camera lady can back up and see, these are the sliders that our customer ordered to go with those pieces. Now, nicely built sliders, whatever, but there is no way on this planet these sliders are going to mount up with that fender and that corner. We would have had to, if Tammy can show you here, cut this off to try to make it match up to that fender, to the tube on that fender.
Because you're locked into the body mounts.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, on this side.
So you can't slide it front to rear because the body mount comes here and there, those two openings.
Right.
So you can't slide it.
So
a little bit.
This was made way too long to go with that set of fenders. Now, I don't know, maybe those are a different fender,
No,
maybe they have different
they're not.
ways, they're all made the same way. Okay. Ours, I know, they all link together. You know, this is why I kept saying, order all from the same company so you don't have to modify. Now this customer had to go and get custom made ones from us. So our guys knocked these out. He's getting, in my opinion, a better slider anyways, because he's getting a Guardian slider. Our Guardian sliders, which protect, they go down under the frame.
So our Guardian, you can see these mounts, there's 3 of them. These are your factory body mounts. So we incorporate the factory, take the bolt out, put the slider on, put the bolt back in, so they're bolted in 2 planes, bottom and side.
Right.
So in somewhat defense of the California company, this is what they choose to attach the bottom of your slider to your tub, a piece of plastic with a 5/16 bolt that you just drill into the bottom of the tub and run a bolt through the tub, through the floor.
Basically mounted to sheet metal.
It is, directly.
Because the floor.
And, well, if we get our tape out, twice got tape. So now you have 1.5 inch pressure point on sheet metal. You hit them sliders hard enough, you will push this through the floor. So ours go all to a welded integral mount to the slider. They're braced on both ends. These are open. There's nothing to keep them from collapsing. So we gusset both ends.
Yeah.
And also, as an optional piece, but highly recommended purchase, is the interior slider brace. And shut the door. So you take this, you pull the bolts out of your seat, you tip the seat up, this slides under your seat, like so.
Oh, wow.
The seat goes back down, the bolts go back in it, we give you new hardware, and then this flange, which I'm not going to make Tammy stand on her head, but this flange here is back up under here and ties the two together this way, so you have more crush resistance. I'm telling you, you can beat on these sliders.
Okay.
We have.
So the bonus to that one not fitting with the corners and fenders that the same company made is getting a better slider.
Oh, wait.
But but wait, there's more.
But wait,
This
there's more.
customer also ordered the panel that goes here.
Oh, yeah.
Where's that?
I really don't want to show that.
Yeah.
Those are mismade. They have to be rejects that were sent. And
Something. So here we are again. First he's got two of them, right? He has two sets of these. So we make, what do we call this thing? Side panel? Guardian side panel.
So I'm not going to throw them under the bus until I talk to somebody. These were mismade.
They had to.
These holes are totally in the wrong spot because they line up with these holes in the wheel, the windshield hinge. So if you line them holes up, you no longer put doors on your Jeep. So I'm pretty certain these were mismade.
But if you go
But
forward,
if you go forward up to the fender,
where it's supposed to be,
lines up, except you get to lose your antenna. Antennas are optional, you don't need a radio, so you gotta take that off.
because there's no hole cut for
They
it.
also do not have a cutout for around the Jeep, so you have to take a Sawzall, right cut, plasma cutter, whatever, and cut this panel out of your Jeep to get a flat surface.
Or hand cut it out of there.
Well, you're never going
Never
to
gonna do that to make it look good.
And then these are built to go with those sliders, but if I hold it up somewhat close, there, and now look here. There's no way they will fit on the slider because the slider comes all the way up to this point.
Right.
They're a half-inch too long, so
There's
you
a
would
line.
have to trim that as well.
There's a line right there where the sliders come up to.
And if you look at the truck line, when I try to line it up as best I can with the bolt holes, you're completely covering the chalk line. So there is no way that this part can fit as it is shipped to you.
Once again,
Even if you don't put the other parts on, it still won't fit.
I've always been saying to people, order everything from the same company so that it all works together. And my bubble was bursted.
Bursted.
Busted.
Popped? I don't know. I'm like flabbergasted because I always believe you should buy the same company stuff. Everything will work good together. And that's not always the case, apparently.
Except
If you buy ours. And even we've had people even buy our fenders and corners and want them to work with their sliders. We've made it so they were able to do that. I don't suggest that. I'm not going to tell anybody I'm doing that. I want you to buy the whole package.
Which is
it all
what
goes,
these are.
Yes, yeah. 'Cause
These are
were
an adapter
made-
slider.
Nobody else will have a slider like this one because these were made to work with those corners and those fenders to
So-
make our customer's Jeep what it needed to be.
If you're in your garage currently and fighting this mess, give us a call. Those are fresh off the presses.
Yeah.
They will fit the East Coast Company's suspension random stretch length and the West Coast companies body armor and tie it all together for you.
Right.
Or you could just
Bring your Jeep.
Or
Right.
order all the parts that actually fit together.
You know.
We're the only company that does suspension and body armor.
Yes.
I know the West Coast guys are trying, but their idea of a suspension kit is a whole bunch of miscellaneous builder pieces.
You got to finish yourself.
And you got to figure it out.
Yeah.
We have fully engineered and designed parts that you just put on, and the armor complements the suspension complements the armor. There's no guesswork. You just put it together.
And
Take that with a grain of salt. It's not bolt-on by any stretch of the imagination.
so now I'm doubting myself. You know, I've had other people call and say, you know, I got this suspension, but this track bar and this, and I'm like, no, buy everybody's all together. Now, I can't suggest it anymore. I can't. I don't know. I don't know if other people's suspensions all work good together. I know a lot of people will go online and go, oh, that's the greatest track bar, and that's the greatest tie rod, and that's the greatest suspension, and try to put all these things together, and that doesn't always make all of that the greatest that it should be. You know, think about the big picture and not just the individual components when you're putting your build together. You will save a crap load of money if you think about the whole picture versus just piecemealing it. It's no different than a house remodel or a lawn or a garden remodel or whatever. Visualize the whole picture and get your baby steps there in the proper order, so you're not one step forward, 3 steps back. So that's my little rant for today that I was just kind of been bugging me since last Tuesday. And
let them know if they do go down the mismatch path.
Mismatch path.
We can solve those.
We can
But
solve
I
lots
have to
of-
have the Jeep here.
Yeah. And I know Ryan has said a million times, I wish I would ordered ours first, because he would have saved himself a ton of money just by going in the right path, going in the right order. And you know, that's what Tanner, Bob, everybody's here. They can call and help. Oh, I forgot about the fenders over there, the flares. Are you going to be able to put those on these corners? You're going to make them work?
Absolutely.
Okay, so at least those will work with the pieces we got. So.
But you guys have worked and
Coming up
all your
start of 20
parts,
years.
you have already figured out what your parts work together well.
Yeah.
Learn from our mistakes, and not that we made mistakes, but we made prototypes and retried them and refixed them and redesigned and whatever until we got it right.
Yeah.
And now the parts are on the shelf and everything just goes together.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, and if anybody
if you want to reinvent the wheel,
doesn't
knock
know
yourself
my
out.
husband, like I know my husband of 36 years, he always goes over and above. And
Is there any other way?
That's just how he is. Sometimes I roll my eyes at it, but that's how he is. He's nitpicky to the minute details. And that's why stuff goes together the way the stuff goes together. What is that? Oh, yeah. He might not make it to 36 in a few days. So, that's my rant for today. I mean stuff is built top quality. I mean those welds on those, they're good. Everything is built quality. But it would be a whole lot less headache if they all actually went together the way they're supposed to go together. Anybody got any questions out there? I don't even know if we got a few
Vince
people
is
on.
here. He
Vince,
can't wait for his stuff.
Oh yeah, Tammy was making
Cotty.
little pictures of that.
Sup,
Yeah.
gangstas?
Cotty, you back at work? Or you still being a slacker? Out there on a vacation or something. I don't know. Maybe he was working.
Frizz wants all the same company, not a hodgepodge of others.
Now that you better, otherwise I'm gonna give you the boot.
Joel says not 15 revisions like some companies.
And we've had a few, but minor, a few here and there.
We're
Yeah,
working
that's,
with
that's R&D. That's
we're
learning.
working with a
That's-
fellow right now on one of the groups I'm in. Hell, they all blur together, but he's got a first generation XJ suspension.
That's almost 20 years
It's
old.
almost 20 years old.
Almost 20 years.
Unfortunately, the bushing supplier we chose 20 years ago is no longer with us,
That's right.
and those parts are unobtainable. You
Can't get 'em.
can't get them; they're gone. It's kind of like if you had an Etzel and you needed parts for an Etzel. Sorry, I'm showing my age. People don't
Shoot,
even know what
even
an Etzel
some
is.
CJ.
You can't get them. Yeah,
and
CJ
junk
parts
you
are
can't
really
get.
hard to come by.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
anyway,
that's just what it is.
you know, since we've had revisions, it's not necessarily the customer's fault, but I worked with that particular customer offline, and he's sending his arms in to get updated to current parts for a minimal charge. He's got a perfectly good working suspension, it's just
Bushings are wore out.
can't get a bushing to replace what's there. So I said, send them in, we'll update them, you got all the latest and greatest parts, and you put it back together and you're back on the road. And from what I understand, he's pretty tickled about that offer.
Well,
So,
that's good. Is he the
But-
original owner, or did he, yeah?
to Joel's comment, we just change ideas and designs and whatever over and over and over. It's, I'm not gonna throw Ryan under the bus, but he's probably gonna run into that when he goes to call the East Coast company for replacement parts for this kit. They may or may not, that may have been 6 revisions ago, we don't know. 'Cause
Yeah.
that company changes stuff on the fly.
But like you said, the bushings, they're not available anymore, so we had to change on that one.
Yeah, we
There
didn't
was
have a
nothing else
choice.
we could do. Yeah, yeah,
No.
we didn't know that one.
And in hindsight, we made an improvement,
Well, yeah.
so.
So, I guess that's all
It
I
happens.
really wanted to say. Today is, what, the 12th? We got
Mm.
just one more week and we leave for our Christmas trip. Yeah, a week from tomorrow. How can that be? How can Christmas be so close?
When
So-
does the 12 Days of Christmas air?
It's
already
airing.
been there.
It is.
Airing.
Sorry, I don't pay attention.
Yeah.
Social media.
Yeah, you know, search for the 12 Days of Christmas. See some of our
Go to our
team,
YouTube
some of
channel.
our, Terrain Masters. It's on our YouTube. It's on Facebook. And I'm sure you've had some reels on Instagram too. I thank everybody for pitching in on that. It's
Yeah,
pretty,
thank you.
pretty.
There's a bloopers too.
Some bloopers. Oh yeah, that's even more fun to watch. This kind of. We are not known for our singing talent here at TNT.
Lastly, for exploring, I'm behind as usual, because I'm
Trying to get this
trying
done.
to fix
Ryan
Jeeps
needs
that
his Christmas present.
Right. We're doing the Sonoran Desert Safari. We changed the name of a Southern Arizona trip. We're not doing the El Camino this year. We've done that the last couple of years, so I'm going to do something different. It's not on the website, but it's sold out, so it doesn't matter. The April trip, I'm working on the web page that will get published here, hopefully tail end of this week. David, if you're watching, stand by. We have several openings on that trip. It will be south of Mesquite, Nevada, Gold Butte National Monument, and up and over the mountains and into the Arizona Strip. So,
You're not doing as many next year.
no. And then the last one that will be officially on the calendar, but I haven't chosen dates, mid to end September, because that's color season up north. We will be doing Northwoods. That's a favorite. But other than that, Mary and I will be in the TNT mobile command post, and hopefully with a TJ that runs and one of the Gladiators or the 4-door JK, whatever fits in the trailer.
Oh, I'd be surprised if we get a
So,
Gladiator and a TJ. That'd
I'm
be pretty exciting.
not certain I can pull that off.
Oh.
I haven't tried it yet, but I think
Yeah.
it'll go.
Yeah.
But anyway,
But we're gonna
we'll
try to
be
hit
back
some
east
shows.
a little.
Yeah,
Um,
this year.
and
Get out
down,
with Tanner.
not quite down south, like Alabama's down south, but down south for us, Missouri. I know we're going to Missouri and we're going to Windrock for a week.
We'll get that up.
So
Tanner knows.
that's coming here shortly, so watch for our dates and times where we will be out and about. That's it, I think.
That's it. That's it. We'll see you guys next Tuesday before we hit the road for Christmas trip.
Yeah, we
We'll do
don't
one
leave
more.
till Wednesday.
Right. We'll do one more TNT Tuesday, then we'll have Christmas.
Ryan, probably, we won't do it on Ryan's Jeep because by next Tuesday, it's not going to be much of a Jeep because everything's coming off this week for paint, powder, finish welding, things of that nature. So it's going to kind of be a hovercraft. So,
Yeah. I was hoping it's done by Christmas.
not with us leaving. So we'll be
Well,
close.
maybe.
We'll
Maybe.
have final assembly. Maybe we'll break it out for the new year.
Yeah.
That's probably
Yeah.
that's a good goal. I don't think I'll get it by Christmas.
Oh, don't be negative.
So I'm not being negative. I'm being truthful.
All right. With that
That's
being
what it
said,
is.
it's time to wrap this up, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Okay.